Right now, I am joined by UFC bantamweight contender Raquel Pennington. She's going to be part of a huge card on Fox Sports, actually on regular Fox, UFC on Fox 19. That is going to be April 16th, live in Tampa. Raquel, man, how's training camp going so far?
It's been phenomenal. Compared to my last fight where I had a 3.5 week fight camp, going into an 8 week fight camp now, so that's definitely nice.
Now, you're going to be taking on, challenger Bethe Correia, who last time we saw her, pardon the terminology, but she was face down, ass up after getting knocked out by Ronda Rousey. I mean, that's what it was, unfortunately for her. Now, this does look to be, somewhat of a very competitive matchup. Now, for you facing now Bethe after that fight, do you think that she's going to be, any more dangerous than previously since she got pretty much embarrassed in that fight? Or do you kind of see her maybe having the same tendencies she had prior to that big championship fight?
I think when it comes to it, an athlete is an athlete. We're constantly growing. I think obviously with what Bethe went through, she's definitely grown, so she's going to come in a lot more hungry. But at the same token, with her growing, I'm growing as well. And so, it's just up to me to focus on what I do as an athlete and not so much what she's going to do. And I think that my skill will be hers.
Now, luckily for her, maybe this is maybe a good thing in her end. She's not been as vocal as she was here in her prior bout. She's been a lot more tamed. It's like she's maybe a little bit more focused on this fight. This is a big fight really for both of you because right now the division, it's a mess. Let's just call it what it is. With her being, just fighting for a title, how big of a win would this jump you in the division, you think, by beating her and beating her convincingly?
It's a perfect move for my career. She's within the top 10, so after I beat her, it will throw me up within the top 10 and put me that much closer to a title shot. At the end of the day, the ultimate goal is obviously for all of us to get her a title shot. She's obviously got a point to prove. I think she kind of learned her lesson when it came to all the shit talking. Trying to keep a little bit more quiet, but who knows? She's probably just growing as an athlete.
Now, I want your opinion here on the current state of the division because now we have a new champion in Miesha Tate. She defeated Holly Holm, who defeated you before she ended up getting her title shot against Ronda Rousey. You now have pretty much this triangle there at the top between Tate, Holm, and Rousey. And, the talk is it'll be some sort of matchup between those three going forward as far as the next title shot goes. Is that fair to the rest of the division that, it seems like no one can really get a crack at the title amongst those three? Those names are all, thrown up at the top. Is that really fair to the rest of the division?
No, it's not. We're all busting our butts to get that title shot. We're all working just as hard as they are. And just because of politics and everything, they're obviously in that triangle that you were talking about. I don't think there should be an immediate rematch, obviously. When it came to Holly and Ronda, I think that once the champion loses, they need to do what all the rest of us do. We have to fight a few people and we got to work our way back up. I think every champion has to do the same thing. Just because they held the title at one point doesn't mean that they should be given every opportunity of whatever they want, And when they sit here and it's just like, all right, they gave Miesha the fight, I think that was a good move for Miesha because they have kind of burned her a little bit. So giving her that opportunity, I think it's great. But now to turn around and Ronda's talking about how she's not going to come back till almost next September, next January, and then now all of a sudden Miesha Tate wins, and Ronda wants to get in. I'm not sure at all. What about all the other girls who are working super hard?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there because it does seem very unfair to that next set of fighters, such as Kat Zingano, Amanda Nunes, who's won her fight, Julia Pena, who's there, yourself, Bethe Correia, Liz Carmouche, all kind of in the mix, with another win that you guys should really be in that title talk. But it just doesn't seem that the powers that be get that and want to go for the immediate rematches, which for fans that's something they don't always want to see unless the fight was just that close.
It just comes down to politics.
Exactly. Now, you're right now. You're entering in your fourth year as a pro. Now, throughout all these fights, you close to a dozen fights here throughout your career. what would you tell yourself now that you didn't know 4 years ago when turning pro that you think would be so much of a gem of advice that you could use back then that you know now?
I needed to learn how to have fun again. I forgot what it was like. I lost my passion, and it was just like when I went pro, I was in the middle of transitioning gyms. I was going through different coaches. Like, it just felt like my career turned into a mess, but yet it was so serious. And I never joined fighting for money or for fame or anything like that. Like, I joined it because I fell in love with the sport. I fell in love with the way that it challenges me as an individual and as an athlete. And I forgot what that was like. So, 4 years later now being a pro, I mean, I would tell myself that, remember to have fun and remember why you started when times get tough. And, I mean, of course, everything's going to throw curveballs at you, but it's just going to be how you adapt to it. And I think that was something that I didn't have leadership on that. I had to figure it out all by myself. But now it's kind of nice because I can give other upcoming athletes that kind of advice. But for me, I had to figure it out. But I think with figuring it out, it kind of made me a stronger athlete overall.
And is that something to where, I've heard that before from other fighters to where, they have stretches in their career where they don't have fun. It's not enjoyable. Does it make going to the gym every day when you're in that kind of that mindset, just like a grind, like you're going to your 9 to 5 and you just hate your job? Does it make training that much more difficult when it's just not fun?
Yeah, when you lose your passion, it's just like, why am I even at the gym? I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? You're constantly like just questioning everything. And so I think, especially in this career, I think it's important during those times. What I did for me was I went on vacation. I had to enjoy life outside of fighting. I had to enjoy life just being Raquel, not so much Rocky. And that's kind of what helped me to find my passion again, because then I just had a burning fire to do different things. And then each fight that came, like, it slowly started to really light that flame for me again.
Now, you speak about passion. One thing I'm passionate about is video games, and I've had the opportunity to play EA Sports UFC 2. You're featured in the game. I got to say, they pretty much nailed you. The cornrows, they could have had a little bit better, but otherwise than that, I thought they nailed you pretty well as far as the visuals go. Now, for something like that, did you ever imagine that you would ever be a part of a video game and you could play as yourself against, pretty much anyone?
I never imagined it would happen. I always dreamed it. I remember being that little girl, and I just thought about how I wanted to be a professional athlete. And, I mean, obviously, being a pro athlete, there's all the things that come with that, such as video games, baseball cards, the fame and glory, the T-shirts, all kinds of different things. And it's kind of cool just to see it all unfold. I think it's still kind of soaking in for me. It's a little surreal.
Well, I think it's pretty awesome, and I think also in the game they nailed you, relatively well in regards to your stats. They have you as an 86 overall. They have you as your stand-up at 89. Clinch, I think they have you a little low at 82, and the ground at 85. But like I said, for the most part, I think they've nailed you a part of the game. I know I've talked to, football players and basketball players. They're a little bit sticklers when it comes to video games and their stats. Is that something that you've kind of looked at and said, they could have gave me a little bit more of a bump there in a certain category compared to others?
No, I think it's fine. It's a video game, and at the end of the day, it comes down to having fun with it, right? So as long as I'm still able to kick people's butt in the video game, I'm good with it.
Well, cool. Well, when are you going to have fun here on April 16th there at the UFC on Fox card down in Tampa? Now, that's a loaded card that you're a part of. Now, for you, you'll be fighting somewhat earlier in the evening and a part of the card, but you'll be able to catch the rest of it. Now, how cool is it to be a part of such a stacked card? This is almost kind of pay-per-view worthy kind of fight has a fight card that has a lot of former champions in it, a lot of contending and very important fights for their division. How cool is it to be a part of such a stacked card there and on Fox?
I think it's phenomenal. I think that the Fox cards are even phenomenal, they get tons of viewers and it's good recognition. And then with such a stacked card, everybody gets to go out and showcase their talent and stuff. I've been on other big fight cards, and it's just exciting. It's fun getting to know all the other athletes behind the scenes and stuff. So it'll be cool to meet some other athletes while we're down there.
And absolutely be nice to get in the warm weather and humidity of Florida compared to Colorado. So I'm not mad at you at all for being able to go down to Florida in April. It sounds very, very, very inviting around this time of the year. For us Midwest people, we get sick of the cold weather and snow. Granted, it's a little bit warmer than typically here in the Midwest right now. But hey, Florida doesn't sound half bad right about now.
I agree. I'm actually down in Florida right now. I came down for a quick little trip for my brother and his wife are having a baby, so they did like a gender reveal party. So took a quick little trip, which I like to call my little mental breaks throughout fight camp.
Well, good. Well, that's solid. That kind of breaks with the monotony because you're still a couple of weeks away out for the fight. So definitely a good time to step away, get kind of refreshed, and finish up camp strong. Now, Raquel, man, definitely give a shout out to the sponsors helping you prepare in training camp here for your big fight on Fox.
Oh man, let's see. For one, I just want to thank all my coaches, my family and friends who stand behind me, and of course all the fans. It's definitely, I think fans definitely play a huge part in an athlete's career. And then, of course, my sponsors, Dr. Graham with Springs Integrated Health and Cascade Family Chiropractic. Stephen Bettina with New Canvas. Let's see. This is something I need to write down, you know that? I'm like, hold on, let me think here. Charmaine Treehill with laser hair removal. Jukebox Performance with my new mask suit. Cryotherapy. F-Bed Chambers. And to all the other ones that I definitely missed, I'm sorry, but kind of a lot to remember.
Well, no worries. I mean, you got to concentrate on fighting. So hey, it happens. It happens.
Did I get an excuse that I get punched in the head for a living?
you get a pass on that one, and definitely let the
fans,
let the fans make sure they know where they can follow you on social media and keep tabs with you as you prepare here for the big fight.
Definitely stay pretty active with my fans. You guys can follow me on Facebook. My fan page is Raquel Pennington. Twitter at Rocky MMA, and Instagram at Raquel Pennington. Actually, Raquel_Pennington.
Right on. Well, again, we appreciate you taking our time here with us, Raquel. Like I said, big fight ahead here on April 16th, live on Fox down in Tampa. Best of luck in training camp here as you finish up, and best of luck in the big fight, man. We hope to see you rise there in the top 10 going forward.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was good talking to you.